Hey guys, what is going on? Payne here once again, and welcome back to my Swansea City career on FIFA 14 Next Gen on the PS4. We kick off this video with a massive fixture at home at the Liberty Stadium in the Premier League against Liverpool. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with my videos, we've had a pretty decent start to the season. We kicked off the Premier League season against Manchester United. That ended 2-2. We played Tottenham. That ended 1-1. We beat West Brom 1-0. And now we move on to this one against Liverpool. It has been tough game after tough game. But luckily for this Swansea side, those fixtures haven't all been bunched together. So we've been having to play, you know, United and then Tottenham within the space of 3 days. At least we've had a bit of a rest, so the players are fully fit for games like this one against Liverpool. And I think in this game, as you'll probably see as well, Liverpool, they weren't really expecting my Swansea side to go out and hit them so hard at the back there. I was playing the 4-3-3 formation against Liverpool, so we had the likes of Boney in the middle, flanked by the likes of Nathan Dyer. Full of pace, that lad, and also Pablo Hernandez. And behind them I had Jonathan de Guzman just slipping in behind Boney up front there, and also I had Romeo and Cana. So to be honest, when you think about it, it was a pretty strong side that I was playing against Liverpool. Romeo coming in from Valencia, another loanee. But I was ready for this. I did hit them pretty hard, and as you can see here, Boney just 17 minutes into the game got lucky there. So lucky. First shot was so powerful that Mignolet couldn't even hold on to it. Second time, Boney comes in, takes a first touch. It wasn't even a shot. Luckily for me, it goes over the top of Mignolet. You'll see it better here on the replay as it goes slow. It was a touch. It wasn't even a shot. But Skirtle got in the way of Mignolet. I think maybe Mignolet might have managed to just nudge that out, but because Skirtle was in the way, he rebounds that into the back of the net. So this Swansea side, 1-0 up against Liverpool within 20 minutes gone of the game. How amazing is that? That's a confidence booster right there for you. And if we could just capitalise on that and continue on with this good form, then we could go on to beat Liverpool. It can be done. We can beat teams like this if we really want it bad enough. Liverpool, I think they was a bit shell-shocked by that. They couldn't comprehend what was going on. They didn't know what was going on. This Swansea side, we came out like a bat out of hell. We was ready for action. And Boney, second goal of the game. 2-0 up against Liverpool. Get that ball. Let's go for a third. We can absolutely smash Liverpool here in the Premier League. But Boney, as we all know, he is a danger man when it comes to the air. When balls are crossed in, he's just there. He's ready to pounce, and he did just that against Mignolet. He didn't even stand a chance. 2-0 up against Liverpool in the first half of this game. What was going on? This isn't the Liverpool that we know for this season. I mean, they have the partnership of Sturridge and Suarez. Luckily there for Moses, he was offside. But I did kind of fear for my Swansea side come the second half, because I had a feeling that Liverpool were going to wake up. They were going to realise what has just happened to them. Swansea, they're 2-0 down to us. And so they wanted to get back into it. Suarez, great chance. He was through on goal, and he decided to shoot the ball. It went wide. Vorm, I think, probably would have got to that even if it was on target. And, oh, would you look at that? Angel Rangel skinning Jose Enrique there. But once it came to the finishing, Pablo Hernandez, dear, oh dear. But that's okay. We're 2-0 up against Liverpool. So, all was okay. It was just for a bit of fun. But again, look at this. Boney passing the ball over the top of the defence for Romeo. Again, the finishing just wasn't the best there. And I did take Romeo off eventually and brought on the likes of Jonjo Shelvey, former Liverpool player, and also Zaha to add extra pace to our attack. Could we go for a third goal? Liverpool weren't going to allow us to do that. They wanted to get back into this game. Moses through on goal. What was I doing? Slipping and sliding all over the place. Luckily for me, the ball hit the post and I just had to clear. So desperate, I had to get the ball out there. I wanted to keep a clean sheet. I think that would be kind of an accomplishment if I could have kept a clean sheet against Liverpool in my first season at Swansea. They did have a corner. I managed to clear that easily, but again, they were back in my box within seconds. I was like, how is this possible? How did that even happen? Suarez went for that sweaty goal as well, but Vorm on top of his game, coming out and grabbing the ball from Liverpool's possession, grabbing it tight in his palms. I thought this was very interesting as well. Henderson, he gave the ball back to Gerrard. I mean, what's Gerrard doing on the left wing for Liverpool? You don't really see him there that often, even in real life. He's normally he is a central player. He's a central key figure at Liverpool. Terrible pass there from Vorm. What was I thinking? Thankfully, Suarez was offside. Otherwise, it would have been 2-1 there, and it would just given Liverpool an invitation then to come back into this game, maybe even get an equaliser. But we managed to hold on against Liverpool thanks to some amazing saves from Vorm. If it wasn't for Vorm, I think this game may have ended 2-2, maybe even lost the game 3-2. And let's just take a quick look at that replay again of how Wilfried Zaha took that touch of the ball. It wasn't even a shot, wasn't even a finesse shot. But as you can see there, Skirtle was the guy to blame for Liverpool's loss against Swansea. Wow. I can't believe that we managed to beat them 2-0. That's such a confidence boost. Beating Liverpool 2-0 this early on in the Premier League. And then we had to look forward to the opening day of the Europa Cup against Standard Liège. And they possess a player called Ezekiel that I have recently added to my shortlist, so I may look into actually bringing him to Swansea. But that's my starting 11. I did bring John Joe Shelvey into the team. I feel as though I've been neglecting him recently. I should be starting him. But recently I've just been going ahead with Jonathan de Guzman slipping in just behind the striker, Boney or Michu, whoever it may be. Shelvey almost opened up the scoring. Zaha, who started this game again, so unlucky not to put that one past the goalkeeper as the ball comes back off the post. I was getting pretty frustrated in this game against Standard Liège. Yes, they wanted it more than this Swansea side. Those first set of 3 points to kickstart our campaign in the Europa Cup. But look at this, reckless dribbling from myself with Canas there. I did decide to go for a shot there, but it just wasn't working out. Nothing was working out. They kept denying me as I tried to get through their back four. Maybe it's like our downtime now after we've been on such a high, after drawing against United, drawing against Tottenham and beating Liverpool 2-0. Fitness was a bit of an issue as well, because don't forget we've got to play this game on a Thursday because it's Europa Cup, and I think that's going to prove to be a bit of a challenge as well as we continue on with our career, because as we all know, games on Thursday, we have to play Premier League then on the Saturday or the Sunday, and that's not giving us much time to recoup and get fit for that next fixture. They did open up the scoring. Standard Liège, they went 1-0 ahead, and good for them. They deserved it, because I wasn't with it. I just wasn't playing FIFA like I normally do in this game. I was disappointed. Obviously, I would have preferred a much better start to our Europa Cup campaign than going 1-0 down away from home. They had a corner on the 80th minute. I thought it was going to be 2-0 there, but I think Vorm had it covered as the ball just goes wide. Again, certainly wasn't the start I had hoped for in the Europa Cup, but we've still got 5 more games to play in the group stage. Oh, and what's this? After the game was played, we got some bad news again. I feel like bad news Barrett here. Wilfried Zaha suffered a hyperextended knee and is going to be out for 3 weeks. That's a long time, really, in the Premier League when you think about it. There's going to be quite a few games there, as well as the Europa Cup to focus on. Our next game, our last game of this video, was to be played away against Crystal Palace, a game that we should win on paper, but then again, you don't know what's going to happen in football, really, do you? Lamar started this game for Swansea because, as you know, Wayne Routledge and Zaha are both out, who fill that position down that left wing. I suppose I could have probably have played Pablo Hernandez, but I think going back to the time I recorded this, he was out due to lack of fitness, having starting that game against Liverpool, then having to play against Standard Liège a couple of days later. So it was a great opportunity for me to actually start the likes of Lamar on that left wing. We went 1-0 up thanks to Boney, again hitman when it comes to the air. Thomas took the ball into the box for Palace, crossed it in, seeking out the head of Jerome. He succeeded there, but Jerome wasn't able to continue on with getting that equaliser. Nathan Dyer, he saw there an absolute nuisance for the back four at Palace, using his acceleration, his sprint speed to his advantage, stealing the ball off them. Nothing came of that cross back into the box, but Angel Rangel could see Nathan Dyer. He was ready to make the run, and he did, twisting and turning. Eventually had a shot on goal, but dear oh dear, terrible finish. I went to cross the ball in, as you just saw there with Lamar. I thought maybe there should have been a penalty there, a handball. I'm not too sure, but it wasn't awarded, obviously, otherwise you would have been seeing a penalty right now. But that pass from Boney then, I was actually looking for Lamar, and Jonathan de Guzman comes in, steals the ball, gives it back to Boney, who was in space, and it was just a perfect opportunity to hit the sweaty goal. Needed to be done, and Lamar got himself on the score sheet as well. It was kind of a nice simple tap in as well, how he took it in his stride, kept his cool, kept his composure, and just tapped that one in. 2-0, nice simple goal, and that was indeed the final score. Another set of 3 points to add to the league table, and that, guys, is the end of this video. I do hope that you've all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one. See you there.